Welcome back from the break. This is Our Parliament and I'm your host Iguma Gabriel. You can follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is Our Parliament TV. Or on Facebook, our Facebook page is Our Parliament. If you'd like to make a comment or even be a part of the studio audience like you see here today, just call the number that you see showing at the bottom of the screen. Dr. Lulume, before we went for the break, you asked something about partner disclosure. What? Do you still have that provision in the bill? And isn't it dangerous?
A lot of arguments have been given. And she has given a very, very powerful negation of compulsory disclosure. Let me just briefly give you a scenario of a success story of disclosure without consent. Okay? Here is a doctor caring for a person living with HIV who needs support from a husband who doesn't know what kind of disease is being treated. She doesn't have enough money to do investigations. She doesn't want to go into the public sector. She's in the private sector and therefore is paying for antiretroviral treatment. Okay? Time comes when the doctor is pressed between rock and a hard place. Wants this lady to be supported, moral support, encouragement, including financial support, to do certain other investigations. And the doctor uses paternalism and says, no, we are hitting a deadlock. We cannot proceed unless somebody else knows for support. Breaks the silence without consent. And support is benefited immediately. And somebody who was nosediving comes up and is now bouncing. What about that?
But that's just
Doctor,
one case.
Let
That's
me give
case.
another case, which is even wider than that. I went to Bulisa and there was this nurse who tested and found out somebody was HIV positive. So this girl was positive and was dating someone whose mother was a friend to the nurse. The nurse went and told the relatives, tell your son this girl is positive. And the story went around the community. So from that time, when I went there, the community did not want to test from there. So you can see the patient-client relationship breaking down automatically. That was a lucky case because this person was probably sane. But majority of our people in the communities do not understand when you disclose.
Now let me pick it just a little bit on that note.
And remember, you are a medical doctor.
Yes.
If your patient comes to you and you diagnose them with something,
yes,
is it okay that you go and tell other people about your
Is it a medical ethic?
No,
really?
Certainly not.
And it is this,
so why do you want this
provision,
for HIV?
This very provision to note is going to give a lot of power to medical professionals to do what they wish against the people they are treating. And it's going to drive people away from that trust. You know, a patient-doctor relationship is very, very delicate. So once there is knowledge that this person is actually disclosing status, we will not come back to your clinic, doctor.
Okay, this is a very good consultation even for me because I'm getting conscientized. But but I'm saying, I am saying, look at a scenario when you unreasonably withhold that consent.
But also, doctor, remember, you have been doing
I respect
that.
you because you are a lady, but it can be a man. And you say, gentlemen, look, you have a responsibility to your family, okay? You need support. How do we manage this disclosure?
Doctor,
because as a counselor,
let me interject there.
Yes,
you have always been doing that. And we know you have been disclosing to people because of the need. So do we need to put it into the law? Because for us, we see the way Uganda is today, which you'll allude to. There is poor service delivery and quack people in the service. So if you put it in the law, it means you are going to give, to stamp and say, every Tom, Dick and Harry, you can disclose to my partner. Because the presumption of whether I have failed to disclose is determined by you, the service provider. So why don't you leave it at that? Because we know when you go to Mulago for testing, they will test you even for HIV when you have not asked. And if you are not well, they will provide the service and cancel you in the process. This has been going on, and this is routine. But if you want to put it in the law, you are actually telling service providers, you have a right now to call my husband, even when you have been in love with my husband and you've been providing for me, then you tell him, you know, your wife is actually, or your husband is testing HIV positive, and then we shall have a lot of
Dr. Jamila, what's being said
I concede.
will be approved. Okay, the doctor